familiar structure for white. Nothing, not much is going to change on the white side. It's just kind of how black replies to our structure setup, right? So again, everything's normal. Bishop on b2, bishop on d3. We have a knight on d2, knight on f3. Pawn structure, a2, b3, c2, d4, e3, so on and so forth. We're good. Again, the principal move here is a3. But white decided to go 95, and that's more or less because of the knight is kind of hanging after 95. You have to respond to that in some kind of way. So after knight to e5, now we're going to look at what happens if they take right away, and they don't allow you to go with this f4 idea, right? We've seen a lot of these f4s, and then when they take, we take with the f pawn. So in this case, we're going to see how do we deal with when they take first, and then now we have the e pawn, and the f pawn is still on. Well, we still have an f pawn. I think I feel like I have this position more than in the other ones that we've seen.
Okay.
They usually take the knight right away,
right,
and don't let you go f4. So okay, so this is another idea that black can try. So knight d7, now f4, just to have a very solid and healthy pawn on e5. Bishop b7, and then here we're going to just dive right into the attack. Queen h5.
Yep.
Knight on h7.
Whenever I see that bishop pointing at h7 and that queen can go to h5, that's a top candidate move right there.
Yeah, and when I showed this game to my class, actually, to my classroom, one of my kids were like, and it was a very nice question, and sometimes kids will say really deep things that you're just like, how? But his question was, so after queen h5, g6 is played, right? So he understands that there's opening principles that we have to technically follow, and we shouldn't violate them always. And if we do, this has to be a good reason to do it. So, right. So his question was, well, if you know that his best defense is g6, and we have to move the queen again, why is queen h5 such a good move?
That's really deep.
We're wasting a tempo. Yeah, he was like, but if you know he's gonna play g6, and the queen's got to move again, like why is it looked at as a good move? And so with great questions, of course, I mean, we obviously love those. The reason why white plays queen h5 is not because he knows that he's in, hopefully he's sleeping and we can just mate him. No, that's not the case. It's because we want to provoke these weaknesses.
That's always the case for me. I hope they're sleeping.
Yeah. So after queen h5, he has to play the move g6, right? And now what we have is we have a black king side with, again, dark square weaknesses around its king. This would be different, of course, if this bishop were on g7, right? Because then now he has a piece that fills in those squares. But the bishop is not on g7; it's on e7. So there is some dark squares that he has to worry about. So yeah, we do have to move our queen again, but at least we provoked some kingside weaknesses.
And this technique actually has a name. One is just called making weaknesses, but the other one, which is a very nice one, it's called tickling. So you start tickling your opponent, see where he's weak, and then they start making weaknesses, and then you attack the weaknesses. So you tickle the opponent. Yeah. You tickle the opponent, right? Because they have to defend themselves from the tickling. And then now they have weaknesses.
I guess so. I guess so. You got to find the spot. Anyways, all right. So g6. And to John, I guess he says he thought I'd teach checkers. I'll explain after this game is done why I will reveal to the whole world why my name is I Teach Checkers, and it's gonna be, and it's another deep one. And by the way, my kids came up with that. So
yeah,
we're gonna talk about that later. We will reveal the secret here on Japanesetutor's channel.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Anyways, so after g6, queen h3. Again, similar to the same ideas as in the other game where they went queen f3, queen h3, right? So, actually, and this is to be noted, B5 was a new idea here actually, and it's a very nice idea. Black typically does this kind of queenside stormer like A6 B5 and tries to go C4 to get this bishop out of this long diagonal, and now has to go to like E2 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But black does it with just a pawn sacrifice and goes right away B5. And a very, very nice idea. So now he's already threatening to go C4.
And the
So
idea of is
the pawn is
if he
hanging.
takes and we play C4 anyways, right?
Oh no! After takes, he actually has a fork, Queen A5.
Ah, right. The fork.
Bishop's hanging, and then knight's hanging. But I mean, of course, his knight is hanging on D7 as well.
Right.
But black was camping on the fact that he's able to go to the second rank and cause problems, right? But black actually missed a very simple move that white had after this whole exchange. So after bishop takes B5, Queen A5, bishop takes D7, Queen takes D2, and here black just thought he was going to be really annoying on the second rank, but white actually had a very simple response to this, and that is rook F2. Just defend the whole second rank. And now there's really no problem. I mean, the one thing we do have to note though is that our bishop is a little bit misplaced on D7, so we can't lose much time with not getting it back in the game, because it looks like even after queen B4, our bishop looks a little bit trapped, right? Because it can't go to C6, it can't go to B5, and then if it has to go to A4, it's like
But don't we have a tactic here?
really well. but luckily for white here, we have a really nice idea here. I'm gonna leave this. This is again a pause for you guys to figure this out. How should white continue?
I mean, I don't think it's good. I think that we can just play like. Can we just play like F5 here? Just be better. Like maybe like A3. I don't know. Like F5 seems just good.
I mean, F5 is not just better. F5 is just winning. So
Okay.
yeah.
But maybe we can play.
Oh, actually, no. Sorry. He played A3 first.
Right.
He played A3 first. Okay, yeah. Actually, this is important. A3, because if he goes F5 right now,
He can play
then
Queen H4, right?
Yeah. He has Queen H4. Queen H4, actually. So yeah, so he does have to go to A3 first, attack the queen one more time, and then now the queen doesn't have this defensive resource. Now F5.
Right. Okay.
And I guess someone said bishop takes E6 before, but this doesn't. I mean, it looks good, but
yeah, it's.
I think we're
and then F5. Yeah, I mean, there's some
F5
play,
and then bishop
but
C8.
you gave up your good bishop.
And then bishop C8 might be coming too. So
yeah.
Yeah, this might not be enough. Sorry, guys. We're gonna fast forward real quick. All right, cool. So we're back.
Oh, so this is what actually happened in the game.
Yeah. This actually went down. This went down for sure. So after F5, well, I mean, there's two ways to take here. Obviously, E or G. It doesn't really matter which way, because the same is going to happen after G takes. In this case, Rook takes on F5, and this is like a very unfortunate scenario for black, because black thought, black honestly played this game very well up to this point. They had an idea, right? They took B5 was a very interesting idea. Unfortunately, it just didn't work by literally probably like a tempo, right? Because of this resource that white has. So after rook takes, of course, well, you have to take. Well, if you don't take, let's say instead you go rook a d8, then white just has rook h5, and then f6. We take on h7, and then mate is unstoppable, right? You can't stop mate on h8, followed by queen h3.
What if they take? Sorry. What if they don't take? Let's play something like this. And what if like e captures f5?
I mean, yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. That's
Okay.
the main line. We're just looking at something. Yeah. That's actually what happened in the game. So what happened in the game was e takes f5,
Mm-hmm.
and white took back with the bishop, and now we see the bishop is back in the game, and we're putting pressure on h7. We're actually really attacking h7, and the queen has no defense value here because this pawn covers these two squares, bishop covers g6, queen covers h6. The queen literally cannot come into the defense, right? It's almost defenseless here. Oh, I played that move by mistake. So okay, h6, only way to hold here, right? Luckily, the queen defends h6, so we cannot take. So how can we stop the queen, or how can we disconnect the defense of the queen's pawn in h6?
We already have it in the chat. E6.
Oh, we already have it in the chat. My man, Don't Cry Wolf is running
Yeah,
heavy with these ideas.
Jigs as well. Yeah.
And Jigs too. My man, Jigs too. That's my
Yeah.
guy, man. Anyways, e6. Yeah, beautiful idea. And just simply crushing now. I mean, my goodness, if this came on the board and I was playing this position, and also note that after e6 it also live this bishop on this really long diagonal too. So it has like dual purpose here. So after e6, f takes e6, queen h6, and
You're threatening like 5 mates there.
well, yeah, 5 mates, and then black resign. But let's look at bishop g5 is also an idea. We're gonna look at this. This did not happen in the game, but this is also so bishop g5, and we have a really nice move here. Actually, this one, JT, I think you're gonna appreciate this one.
What is it?
White's move here.
White's move.
Here. Yo, yeah, bishop g5. It looks like it defends, right? It looks like it holds. It's a saucy move.
We need that h6 pawn, right?
No, we need that. We need
no,
that.
no. So then we just wait. What if captures? We capture with check. Takes mate. It's mating. Okay, maybe that's not mating. We just maybe have a better position. Okay, I think bishop f6.
Oh yeah, bishop f6. Oh yeah, that is the sauce. Bishop to f6, because you cannot take this bishop. If you take this bishop, then again queen takes h6, and you can't stop mate on h7.
Right. I was thinking, what if pawn takes? Pawn takes on e6.
So if let's say f takes e6.
Yeah, but then it's still mate, right?
We have
bishop captures e6 check.
We have bishop captures e6 check. Yep.
Rook f7 and then
rook f7 with bishop takes g5 takes, and then rook f1.
Right, because of the pin. Yeah, that's the move that I didn't see. I'm like, what's happening here?
And then after fate, rook f6.
Ouch,
my friends.
Ouch. Threatening mate.
It's g on g6, and you can't stop it.
That's insane.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the beautiful thing about this bishop 6. Like what? Everything. Like what? When I saw this, I was I literally just like fell off my seat. I was like, no way. Like this is so deep. So not even that would work. But okay, but then the game ended alternatively faster.
Right.
Yeah, those are the two games, guys, that we have prepared for today.
And
hope
thank you for
enjoyed. Yeah, go ahead, JT.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the games. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that we're making you fall in love with, top tier chess and good chess. This is a trip down memory lane for me because I remember some of these games, not this game in particular, but a lot of the ideas and concepts when I used to play the Colle, and they're just all coming back to me. So it's very nostalgic seeing these moves played, making me want to play the Colle again. So hopefully it inspires some Colle play from you. Even if you don't play d4, you can try it out in a few blitz games, and I hope that you do because it's a really good for strategy building because you know exactly what to do.